going on, everybody? It's the Bulls Show, aka Aidan, and welcome back to another video. My goodness, ladies and gentlemen, what a game did we just witness out of the Chicago Bulls and the Los Angeles Clippers. One of our most insane games of our season, and we walked away, surprisingly enough, with an incredible victory under our belt. I can't be happier with a win like this. It is such a great feeling. The United Center was pumping, the crowd was into it, and the Bulls players responded with a massive comeback to send it to overtime and to take it on from there. I honestly cannot stress enough how big this victory is for the Chicago Bulls, and I'm so thankful that I was here to watch this type of game. At the end of the day, talk about the goods and the bads all you like. That is a game that will always get you off your seat. That's a game that set me in tears, man. That's how exciting that game was, and I can't stress enough, I'm so happy that we won it as well. Before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Bulls Show, turn notifications on, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the game today. Were you as excited as I was? Were you jumping out of your seats? Were you fist pumping in the air? Did it send tears down your face? Whatever it was. And also, who was your player of the game? I don't even think we need to answer that question, but at the end of the day, it's only fair that I ask out of respect for everybody else. But we won the game 135 to 130. I believe this is our first overtime win of our season, and it came at a very, very close, very, very competitive situation. And finally, in the end of the regular season, we got something that went our way. Now, to be fair to the Clippers, man, they did everything right in the fourth quarter up until the last couple of seconds of that game. They did almost everything they could right. They were knocking down free throws at a high percentage. They kept on responding with their own buckets every single time. But the last stretches of that game, they just seemed to have collapsed. They seemed to have lost what got them to the dance and what got them to the lead that they had. They ended up committing one really bad away from the ball foul, and then they fouled a three-point shooter, and DeMar DeRozan is not always the best three-point shooter either, so that was just an absolute collapse from the Los Angeles Clippers. But as a Bulls fan, you got to take those collapses and you got to walk away with the win there, and thankfully the Chicago Bulls did. Throughout the whole course of the game, again, we were definitely not the dominant team in this game up until the late ends of the game. We had a 16-point deficit in this game that the Bulls came back from. That goes to show that what DeMar DeRozan said in his post-game conference is true. If there's time on the clock, you still have a chance. We've come back from worse leads than this before, obviously, but we had a chance to win this game. The 16-point deficit did fly away very quickly, and it went down to a really close down the wire. And we got to give credit to the fans at the United Center today. They definitely felt this one in the fourth quarter. They went absolutely bonkers every single time we did a good play, every single time we did a defensive stop, everything like that. The crowd definitely was involved in today's game. That felt like a playoff atmosphere. Now, hopefully, we can see better from that in the playoffs, of course, but that was a playoff atmosphere. That felt like a playoff game, and that felt like a really tight shifting win for the Chicago Bulls. I'm so blessed to have watched this game, and again, the positives have to come with a game like this. The confidence has to come with a game like this. We did so many good things right in the fourth quarter that we deserved to be where we were. We did everything right in the fourth quarter as well. The Clippers did well to manage and try to execute down the stretch, but within those last seconds, they lost everything. And with the Chicago Bulls, we gained everything. We had everything to gain. We could have ended the game in the fourth quarter as well, but one missed free throw sent it to overtime, and we got even more exciting plays. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to get the most analytical, the most, direct what happened in this game. I'm just based on momentum, really. I'm hyped. I want to talk about the individual performances, but again, if this is an analytical side that you're going to look at and say, oh, what actually happened in this game, what went wrong, what went right, honestly, I'm throwing all of that out the window. We won the game. It was one of the better performances I've seen from the Chicago Bulls in the March stretch. Shows in our scoring ability, but of course, I don't really want to get into the positives and the negatives. Let's just go to the individual performances. We're going to start off with Nikola Vucevic, 22 points, 1 assist, 14 rebounds in this game. The thing with Vucevic that I like today is that when he was banging down low, He did great. He was 9 from 19 from the field, 3 from 5 from the three-point line. Again, Vucevic has an act for giving guys a pump fake. And again, with other guys on the Clippers team, like Isaiah Hartenstein, that was guarding him, Vucevic is stronger, Vucevic is older, he's got the experience over him. You take it down low. He even did that to Zubac a couple of times here and there as well. I really thought Vucevic had a great game in my eyes, but at the end of the day, it's not just him that we have to talk about here, ladies and gentlemen. So it was a good game from him. He got a couple of rebounds. He did some nice things. Really strong three-point shot in the fourth quarter to help us get to that comeback. So you got to contribute him a lot for a win like this as well. DeMar DeRozan, 50 points. 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal in today's game. DeMar DeRozan, out of a very long list of players that scored 50 points in the month of March, we can finally get DeMar DeRozan onto that list as well. He was absolutely fantastic today. Technically, it's April for me, but I don't really care. I don't mind living in the past for a little bit. Where it's March for me now is what I'm essentially saying. What a great performance from DeMar DeRozan. We have a lot to be thankful for, and DeMar DeRozan really gave us everything in that game. Again, he was the guy that got the away from the foul call on man, and then also he was the guy that took the three-point shot that sent it to that he got fouled, sent it to overtime, and of course he also took over in overtime as well. 15 free throws for DeMar DeRozan. Finally, we're getting the foul calls that we deserve. A long time we don't see Chicago Bulls get foul calls, and maybe Los Angeles Clippers, I don't know, they're also one of the teams that don't get to the free throw line very much, but that's more to their playing style compared to ours. They shoot a bunch of threes, and we saw it in that game, but the Bulls attacked the paint all night long, so it's about time we got some of those fouls calls our way. Then, obviously, we've got Zach LaVine, 21 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal. Look, I don't think it's a good game from Zach LaVine either. He had a couple of nice assist plays, some of them to Alex Caruso, and the lob to Tristan Thompson comes to mind just based on what I saw out of the game. So that was really good. He got to the foul line as well, 13 foul shots. He made 10 of them. So that's not bad for Zach LaVine either. And yeah, I could definitely see him doing better than this. 29% from the field is very bad. 1 from 6 from the three-point line is very bad as well. Maybe it's time for Zach LaVine to just continue attacking the paint, because again, he's getting the foul calls recently. So he has to keep on trying to attack the paint and see what he can get out of there. Alex Caruso, 7 points, 3 rebounds, and 7 assists in this game. He also made some crucial plays in this game as well. The one where he was pretty much at the free throw line, he slipped the screen. Double team comes from DeRozan, gets the pass to Caruso. Caruso turns around, finds an open Patrick Williams, cutting to the basket, passes it to him, easy as you like. Very simple, very good plays for Alex Caruso. And defensively, he was still a menace as well. Now, he had a couple of times where I saw him, obviously with his back contusion, he still has. That's definitely something to consider. He also was like trying to, I guess, make that wrist feel comfortable. So hopefully nothing goes wrong in that area. But again, Alex Caruso, what more can you want from him on the playmaking and the defensive side of the ball? I thought he was very good today. And then you got Ayo Dosunmu, 8 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block in today's game. That block on Reggie Jackson was absolutely sensational. Got a nice steal in there as well. Did very well in transition. Nice game for Ayo Dosunmu, in all honesty. Again, when Alex Caruso and Ayo are both putting up numbers on the starting lineup, when the big three are also putting numbers up in the starting lineup, we are a very difficult team to beat. And I guess it showed in that game today. What an exciting game, ladies and gentlemen. And I feel like everybody played their part in how we contributed in this game. It was truly a fantastic game to watch. But then you go to the bench, ladies and gentlemen. Patrick Williams, 10 points, 12 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 blocks, 100% from the field, 4 from 4, 2 from 2 from the three-point line. And my goodness, were some of these shots so essential to the Chicago Bulls. First, the three-point shot from the corner for his first shot. Again, that's his first shot of the game, and he made it. Then the posterizer, ladies and gentlemen. The absolute scenes of that posterizer. One of the best posterizers I've seen from the Chicago Bulls this season. That's how good it was. It was on the center. He's bullied his way into the paint. He out-strengthed that center, and he fell to the floor. One of the best in my opinion, posterizers I've seen from the Chicago Bulls this season. Then obviously the play that I mentioned with Alex Caruso when he got an open dunk, and then also Alex Caruso sets him up for an open three in the fourth quarter when we desperately need it. He wasn't afraid to shoot those shots. That's the first thing I have to take away. The shot that he shot with the first three, he wasn't hesitating before he shot it. Same with that last shot as well. Now, I would like to see him shoot more, but I can't argue with the results in today's game. He got a double-double for the Chicago Bulls, and the shots that he took, he made. He was very, very efficient in today's game, and he had 2 successful games in a row where he was rebounding the ball at a very, very high level. Again, you can't ask for much more from Patrick Williams. If he eventually is going to get that starting power forward position for the Chicago Bulls, we don't know if he's going to get that or not, but if he does, rebounding is an essential part of what we need as a team, and he's flying for the rebounds at the moment, and it's fantastic to see. I really enjoyed his game today, and I couldn't ask much more out of him outside of shooting more shots. But great night for Patrick Williams. 36 minutes, he was playing in crunch time, and he deserved every single minute because he was very, very good defensively as well. Again, you can't ask much more from a guy like Patrick Williams in this game. Coby White, 11 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. He did everything well, Coby White, except for the 3-point shooting. 1 from 7 from the 3-point line. But when he got off to those screens and he got into those positions to make layups, he definitely did a great job. A nice layup over Paul George, really tough, and he had to adjust his shot to make that go in. Even off the inbound type of play, stuff like that, really telling. And he can get those types of shots. He's a very quick guy, Coby White. So if he can use his pace and he can use his ability to shift his body into certain positions, he could definitely be a guy that could get those crafty, easy layups off of the backboard. So I would like to see more from Coby White. Of course, 1 rebound, 1 assist. We know you can do better than that. But with Coby White, 11 points. Again, really solid off of the bench. I think our bench scoring was really, really important today, and Coby White and Patrick Williams both delivered on that front, so congratulations. Tristan Thompson, 4 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist. A menace on the offensive rebounds, ladies and gentlemen. Again, you don't often see the Clippers with Zubac and Hartenstein really get out-rebounded. They are one of the better rebounding teams in the NBA. Then you also go guys like Covington and Batum and Morris. They're a really, really big team, and they could definitely get their own on the rebounds again. But we saw a couple of guys that really stepped up on the rebounding side, and Tristan Thompson doubled his rebounding from the Wizards to the Clippers game. That's exactly what we needed out of him. There are a couple of shots that he got blocked from, like the Covington one, and obviously the one, I think Zubac blocked him one time. So at the end of the day, it wasn't an efficient night for Tristan Thompson, but he still brings the same type of energy. He still brings that gritty type of mentality. He's going to go after offensive rebounds, and he got a good lob today as well. So a really nice game from Tristan Thompson. And Javonte Green, 2 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and 2 steals. Basically, as soon as he came onto the floor, he got 2 steals. That's how important Javonte Green was. He didn't score the ball as much. Again, he could have had a lot more points depending on how the transition plays went. But at the end of the day, he made a very big impact on the defensive end as well. Just because he had 2 points in this game, you can't ignore how really strong he was defensively, despite him getting a little bit less minutes compared to everybody else, while also making that strong impact. Congratulations once again to Javonte Green. And this is an important win for a variety of reasons. Again, Cleveland lost, I believe, in their last game. And then the Raptors got the Orlando Magic tomorrow. The Raptors are tied with the Chicago Bulls. So really, really important game to pick up here. The Clippers was not going to be an easy game, but you also have to note that this is the first game at home. Obviously, we are still struggling as a team. Maybe this could be that game that can lift us out of that struggle. We have to wait and see. Only time will tell. But you can't not have momentum after a game like this. It's impossible. It's such an incredible game. It's such a heart in your mouth type of game. You got the Bulls fans on their feet from the third quarter onwards. It was just a sensational moment to be a part of. If you went to this game at the United Center, and you got your money's worth. You got everything you wanted and more out of this game. You got the upsetting, frustrating moments where we're down by 16. You got the incredible feeling of that comeback. You got the heart in your mouth type of moment where DeMar shooting free throws. You got an overtime experience. If you were at the United Center today, I tip my hat off to you. You definitely got one hell of a game, and I envy you, to be honest, because I'm in a different country. But congratulations to everybody that attended that game. Looking at the must improve, again, I'm not going to give a must improve. When you have a game like this, the last thing I want to do is to criticize one individual player when we had an exciting game like this. One of our better games of our season, one of the most exciting games I think I've watched all season. Outside of the 2 buzzer beaters DeMar hit, this is definitely one of those games where I just couldn't believe what was happening for the Chicago Bulls. You got to give some respect to the Clippers as well, because they really did have a good game. I know it doesn't show. Obviously, Paul George recently returned as well, just to give some respect to them. Paul George was really good in today's game. Reggie Jackson was unbelievable. Morris had a really good first half. Clippers are a really good team, and I think you'll see much more out of them if they make when they make the play-in and obviously stuff like that. They're definitely not a team to be messing around with. They're a good team in my opinion, but for the Bulls, it's an essential win. That's all I could really say. We have to focus on us. We got our win. The player of the game is obviously DeMar DeRozan. If you ever drop 50 points and you don't get the player of the game, then there's something wrong with the Chicago Bulls. DeMar DeRozan was absolutely phenomenal in today's game, not to mention the 6 assists that he dropped as well. He was doing everything on the court today. He got a couple of defensive stops as well, taking on the challenge for guys like Paul George. He wanted that challenge as much as he could. At the end of the day, you can't ask for much more in terms of a competitive side as well. DeMar DeRozan was the one that said, when there's time on the clock, you still have a chance. Have that mentality going into every game now, ladies and gentlemen. Let's not feel like we give up against some of these teams. Let's not get blown out by some of these teams anymore, because you have a chance every single time. And the Bulls players, outside of DeMar, because I feel like DeMar believes it. Of course, he's a veteran. He has to believe what he says. But every other guy has to have that mentality. Every other guy has to believe with every possession, if there's time on the clock, there's a chance to win. It's very inspirational words, ladies and gentlemen, and it's time for the Bulls to use that in the upcoming games. Our record is 45-32. I've already mentioned where we are. We remain 5th in the Eastern Conference. I believe Philadelphia actually lost to Detroit today. Very surprising loss for them. So I believe Philadelphia are 4th at the moment. So again, I think that puts us 1 game behind them. Maybe it is 2, I'm not too sure, but nevertheless, it's a good game for the Chicago Bulls. So yeah, overall very, very happy with that. And then you got the teams below us, like the Raptors. We got a tiebreaker over them. Now we're 1 game in front of them. They play tomorrow. Cleveland lost, so that puts us in a good position to not go into the play-in. Our next game is against the Miami Heat. A really important game against the Miami Heat. Again, an elite team that will be coming into the United Center. Miami's been having an up and down stretch recently, but if you're looking at their previous games, ladies and gentlemen, they recently beat the Boston Celtics. Then they beat the Sacramento Kings as well, but they lost to Brooklyn. So they've won 2 out of their last 3, ladies and gentlemen. So that's definitely something that we can look into. If they're going to come in struggling at the United Center, we have an opportunity to win this game. And I really hope the Chicago Bulls can find a way to do so, because beating an elite team in the Eastern Conference will give us even more confidence and even more belief. This is the type of belief that I've been wanting to see out of the Chicago Bulls. This is the type of belief that I feel like they're going to need if they want to get into the playoffs and succeed in the playoffs as well. The inner belief in themselves, the confidence in themselves. This game will do a world of confidence for them, but let's see if that confidence can ride through into that Miami game, and hopefully we can win there as well. I'm so excited, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so happy I got to watch this game, and this is why you watch every single Bulls game of basketball, because eventually you're going to get gems like this that simply would not, you won't forget these types of games. I don't think I'll ever forget this type of game against the LA Clippers. It was that type of game. It was truly insane, and most importantly, it was insane, but we won. So I'm really happy about that as well. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in another Chicago Bulls video. Have a wonderful and safe day. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned for more. Take care.